Mr. Kane. Welcome back to school. I got some friends here with me.
Hey, I'm Mrs. Chase, and this is our student teacher, Miss Emma Clive.
And we just wanted to welcome you back a little bit ahead of time and just share a couple of important announcements with you. As you guys know, if you're coming to school and you're doing the hybrid model, you're going to be wearing masks all day long during school, and you're going to be doing your best to be 6 foot apart. In band and in chorus, one of the safety recommendations is that we actually have to be 12 feet apart when playing your instruments. If we take a look around the band room right now, we actually will see we've got these chairs at 12 feet, and you'll quickly figure out that, well, we can't fit all of the band in here, which is why the new real home of CA Band this year is going to be the small wrestling gym. 2 big things to know for when we start back up. Number 1, everybody's going to have their own personal instrument. Everybody's going to need their own personal folder. We won't be sharing stands, and we won't be using school folders. I think we've got some paper folders to hand out in bands, okay? So we should be pretty good there, and they'll fit in backpacks as well, okay? We will have access to our school music lockers during the day, so there's an opportunity there, and there's a special way we'll ask you to use the locker room down there, okay? And then I would say that maybe one of the really unique things that you maybe haven't thought about yet is this. We're actually going to be playing our instruments with masks on. How is that possible, you might ask? Right now, this might be a mask that I would wear all the time, and then this might be a mask that I choose to use in band. See that I actually cut a tiny little slit in that hole. Well, Mr. Kane, that doesn't make any sense because that means that, everything can just escape out of that hole. Well, it's better than nothing, okay? And it's me being responsible and making the choice to do a decision that might just help the greater good of us trying to stay in school this school year, because we all do want that, okay?
Yeah, you'll get your instruments, take your case right along with your instrument with you, go into the small gym and sit down at your chair, and you'll set everything up. Take your instrument out of your case, get all your music all ready to go. And the last thing that you want to do is to switch out your mask. So you'll take off your regular mask and then switch it out for the playing mask right before you're ready to start playing. So that slit is just there so that you can have your mouthpiece and be able to play.
So it's a little bit different for every single instrument. But for this mask on that I have here, I cut a small slit in there that would be just about the right size. And we're going to do our best to remember that it's going to take a little bit more time, but I've got it in there now. It might not be perfect at first, and it might be something that over this weekend before school starts that you want to try and experiment with at home. I think you have a different example of a mask, and if you look this up online, you can see that there's tons and tons of different music masks specifically for this. You want to come on up and show that?
So we have 2 different masks here. This is one, it's like a regular mask basically, except it has 2 holes in it. So there's 2 layers of fabric, and one side has 1 hole, and then on the opposite side, diagonal, has a different hole. So when you put it on, you snake your mouthpiece through one side into the other. And then when you take it out, it kind of closes it back up again, so there's no hole, so less air escapes, so there's not like a hole with Mr. Kane's mask. This one is a scarf mask, so when you put it on, this one has a back side that goes around your head like a regular scarf. And you can put your instrument underneath the layer of fabric, and so it kind of just drapes over it afterwards. So there's just 2 other options. They should be fairly inexpensive, and they're also on like Amazon and different things like that.
And a lot of people have just made them themselves as well.
Right.
And then one more thing that I don't think we're going to have really available for everybody at the beginning of the school year, it's actually like a bell cover for an instrument to reduce the aerosol transmission in the room.
It's like a mask for your instrument,
Yeah.
right?
So this I made out of tights, women's tights. So you just kind of cut the legs off. This is just the top part of it. You drape it over. For horn players, they have to put their hand in the bell, but for anybody else, you could just put fabric, rubber band it around, and it just kind of stops the transmission. This one is a fancier version, like a neck gaiter they have it that you pull up over your nose, and that just has horns on it, so it's kind of fun.
Some DIY options that you might think of too, flutes. We have a plethora of baby socks that we'll have available for you. You can slip a little baby sock on the end of your flute, rubber band it or hair tie it around and keep that secure. Clarinets and maybe altos, we haven't tried it yet, but you might be able to use a regular sock and do the same thing to put it around there. For some of the larger brass instruments, an old t-shirt, you can rubber band it around the end of your instrument too. And we'll try to have some of those things available for you to use if you don't already have something in mind to use.
Percussionists. There will be no shared mallets or sticks this year for drumsticks or like bell mallets. You really need to have your own sticks when it comes to that. For the bass drum mallet in class, we'll have only one person at a time use one mallet. If we have a reason to switch bass drum mallets, then we would set one aside and put it in sort of a dirty bin, and then we would have that cleaned for the next class that would come in. Here we go. Can't wait to see you guys.